Hi, I'm Shelby. I have worked at Capital for the past 8 years. I am a tool truck driver for the asphalt crews, as well as a heavy equipment operator. Today, we will be doing an inspection on one of our tool trucks with our small trailer and roller. So as we open the hood, we're gonna check and make sure all the latches are functionable, unclip and reclip, make sure they lock into place. We're gonna go over and do the other side. Then we're gonna open the hood. We're going to check and make sure that your hood hinges are solid. There's no cracks in them. You're gonna check your wires, make sure there's no fray in them. Try to catch those before they do end up breaking on you. Then we're gonna come over to the engine bay. We're gonna start with engine oil, which means you grab a rag out of your pocket or your truck or your lunch pail. You grab the engine oil dipstick, you wipe it off, then you stick it back in the hole, retighten it, pull it back out, and get your proper engine oil check. Then you're going to do your transmission, which is also usually color coded or says transmission on it, and reinsert it and pull it back out and check and see if your oil is full, just correct. Then you're going to go up here, you're going to check your coolant levels, make sure that that's at least 3/4 full and you see a little bit of a bubble at the top for expansion. You're going to check your brake fluid. The level should be around here to make sure that's just a visual. Your windshield washer fluid is full as well and your cap is on and secure. Then you're going to come over here, do your power steering fluid. It has levels right here which tells you, if you shine a flashlight inside of it, you can see the fluid a little bit better. And then you're going to do a general inside the engine bay. So you're going to look for leaks, you're going to look for cracks, you're going to look for any seepage, any oil seepage. You're going to look at your rad fans, make sure that all the fins are together. You're going to check inside your wheel for any hub oil leakage, anything that's not supposed to be there. Then you're going to check your cargo frame, which is this right here, your leaf springs, all of the U-bolts, make sure you don't see any metal that is rubbing, which means it's loose. You're going to check and make sure that your U-joint here for your steering wheel is connected and safe. Then you're going to move to your left side tire. You're going to check all of your lug nuts and make sure that they're all tight and they feel snug. You're looking for wear for metal on metal around the rim as well to see if any of those washers have come loose. Going to check and make sure your valve stem is in place and it's not loose, and that's all good to get air. Then you're going to come down here, you're going to check your hub oil level. There's an add line and a full line. It should sit level so that it should be to the full. You're going to look for any cuts, abrasion on the face of the tire, on the inside of the tire. You're going to check your treads and make sure that they're still road legal. You grab a hammer, a mallet. I do not recommend kicking the tire. You're going to check it consistently in the same spot. You're going to stand off to the side. I usually do it in the front. All you're checking for is to make sure you feel air in the tire and make sure that it's not leaking anything and you're not going to have a flat as you go down the road. Make sure that your tire is not hitting any part of your truck, whether it be fenders, bumpers, inner side of your frame. You're going to look at your mirrors. You're going to make sure that they're still secured to the truck and no bolts are loose. You're going to come to your battery compartment. You're going to look. You're going to make sure that it's all still good. There's no holes, no cracks in it. You're going to unlatch it. You're going to take it off. You're going to inspect your battery. Make sure there's no corrosion in there. Everything is all together. You're going to put it back on. You're going to check and make sure your def cap is tight. There's no leaks or cracks in it as well. You're going to come to your fuel tank. You're going to make sure that your cap is on your fuel tank as well. Check your straps. Look for any leaks underneath of it, any seepage coming out anywhere on your fuel tank. Everything is tight. This leak, this patch of water on the fuel tank has come from the top of the floor, so there is no issue with this fuel tank. You're going to go and check along your frame, make sure that all the clamps are tightening the body down to the frame. You're going to check your U-joint, your back dip for any leaks, any seepage areas, which it looks to be all good. You're going to check in between your rear dually tires to make sure there's no rocks or anything that could potentially cause you to have a flat tire or a busted rim. You're going to check on the 2 rear dualies, again in the same spot consistently. You're going to tap this one, tap that one, make sure that they sound the same and they feel the same to make sure that you're not running a flat on them, so that you're not missing any treads. There's no gashes or gouges or chips out of the sidewall of the tire or the front face of the tire. You're going to check, make sure there's no wear or anything around the lug nuts. the washers on the inside and the outer of the rim. Make sure your valve stem is clear. Make sure your mud flaps are secured. Check the rest of your frame. Then you're going to check any suspension system that you have in the back, all of your shocks, any of your airbags, depending on which truck you have or which truck you're driving at the time. You're going to continue on along the frame. Make sure that your bumper is secure, there's no cracks in it, and it's well uniformed. Then you're going to come to the back of your truck with your trailer or not trailer. Make sure your coupling device, as they would call it, is secure. So that means your trailer hitch. Your trailer hitch comes up, goes back down and locks into place. All of your connections for your electrical brakes and your lights are working. Your chains are crossed. Your hooks are on. They have their safety latches and they're all secure to the trailer. You're going to come back to your jack stand, wiggle it a little bit, make sure that it's stayed up into place. Then you're going to come back to your load securement. You're going to look at your D-rings. You're going to make sure that everything is sound here. There's no cracks in them. They're all together. You're going to look at your chains. Make sure you see no stretched chains, worn out chains. Your hooks are in place. The little cotter pin that holds your hook on is correct and attached. You're going to come back. You're going to look and see that you have the connectors to hold your chain in place, your bear claw. You're going to come back to the back wheel. You're going to have a look at it as well. Make sure that all of your electrical wires are safe and ready to go for your lights. Look for any damage on the tire, your lug nuts as well on there. Your valve stem has a cap for the trailer fill up. You're just going to hit it in the same spot consistently and feel that it bounces back and that there's air in it. You're going to make sure that you have latching pins for any of your gates of your trailers. Make sure that they're in place. Make sure that they're all connected. Come around to this side, do the exact same thing. Check, make sure the cotter pin is there to hold your hook on. Your chains are good. Your D-rings are all ready to go. To this tire as well, do the exact same thing. All of your wires in here as well to make sure your little marker lights work. You're gonna come back up. You're gonna inspect the front of your chain. Make sure your bear claw has that clamp on it. Make sure you have your cotter pin in this one as well. D-ring is all good to go. Come around to this side of the vehicle. Look at your stairs. Make sure they go up and down. Make sure that they have a pin here that you can drop into the hole to lock it into place so that it does not fall down. Come over to this side of the body. Here now again, crouch down. Look at your frame and your box mounts. Make sure that they're all good, all holding on. There's no wear marks around any of these washers to say that they've loosened off. Check your mud flap as well. Make sure that they're all in place. Again, look at this side of the diff. Make sure that everything is all good, no seepage. Look at your U-joints. Make sure that they're all still in place and held to where they're supposed to be. Look at your frame and your cab again. Make sure that that's all good and held together. As you go, if your truck is equipped with a box, you need to make sure that the door and the handles are latched. It should be open and closed and locked back down again. It cannot be held by a bungee cord, a strap, anything like that. Latches have to work on those. As you come around to this side, you're looking at your exhaust. You're making sure that your exhaust clamp is on there. There's no cracks in your exhaust. There's no loose metal anywhere that can potentially create an exhaust leak. You're looking at your stairs, making sure that your stairs are sound, because in a big MTO check, they will tell you to check your stairs, or a driver's license test. They will ask you for that as well. As you come around to the front, you're gonna look at your mirrors, make sure that they're secured to the truck. They seem to be. You're going to move to the front side of the right side and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to check your tires. You're going to look at all of your pipes, the turbo and the exhaust that connects back there. Metal on metal sometimes likes to vibrate and crack. Clamps come off. You have to make sure that that's connected, or else you will have an exhaust leak in your cab, which is not a good thing, as it can potentially asphyxiate you. You're going to look again at your rad support, make sure that everything's all held on there correctly. Your rad fins on this side is all good to go. There's no chunks out of them that are missing. Your leaf springs, your frame as well. Any hub oil seepage that is on the inside, which I think we're pretty good for that. Your bumper is attached. There's no issues with that. Your hood hinge as well. All the wires that are on this side that connect it. Your air filters, make sure that your air filters are locked on and they're all good to go. And again, make sure this has no interference with anything. So it's not touching your bumper rail. It's not touching the inside of your frame, the back side of your fender, as they will actually potentially damage your truck and create a problem in the future. Then we're going to go ahead to the front. We're going to check our front mirrors. They're all connected, no loose bolts, nothing cracked on it. Come to this side. You're going to check your mirrors, make sure this side is all connected. Then you're going to put your hood down. And then you're going to back over and relatch it. Make sure it's snug and secure into place and it will not pop up as you drive. Check your front license plate, make sure that it is in place and your valid sticker. And then you're going to relatch this side, make sure it is secure as well. Then you're going to go inside, start it up, and then you're going to do your light check. To turn your ignition key on, you're going to let it cycle, wait for the wait light to turn off, then you're going to start your ignition. Then you're going to turn your left turn signal on. You're going to get out of the cab. You're going to go around to the front. You're going to make sure your signal light works. You're going to make sure that your marker lights work on the side. You're going to work your way around to the back. Make sure that your back signals lights work as well. You're going to come around to the trailer. You're going to make sure your trailer lights work. You're going to go back up. You're going to turn on the right turn signal. So right turn signal is on. Take your right turn signal off and check your high beams. You're going to check both of your high beams in the front. Make sure that they are activated as well. You're going to turn your strobe lights on, your work lights, strobe lights. You're going to check and make sure that they spin and work as well. Going to come around to the back side of the truck and make sure that your back work lights work. So when you pull onto site, you're able to be noticed that you're there for the job. So here we have, it's called a pedal depressor. You can either get an actual device that locks onto your steering wheel and presses your brake pedal. You can use a stick, a snow brush, whatever will work for you. But you're going to jam the brake pedal down and stick it against your seat. Then you're going to go to the back of your truck. You're going to have a look and make sure that your brake lights on your truck are active and the brake lights on your trailer are active as well on both sides. So when you're in cab, your truck is started, you've checked all of your lights, your brake lights, everything like that. You're going to make sure that you check your electric braking system. There is a module in the truck that has a dial on it. You can dial it up or dial it down. You're going to press it in and you're going to hear it actually activate. In order to do a proper check for that, parking brake goes down, brake pedal is on. You're going to shift the truck into forward. You're going to creep slightly forward and you're going to press your brake and see if the brakes hold your trailer. After you've done that check, release it, pull your parking brake back up and put your truck into neutral. Honk your horn in both settings, make sure they both work. Then you're going to flick it to the bottom setting and make sure your small horn works as well, which it does. You're going to turn on your defroster into the front. You're going to put your hand up top, going to make sure you feel air coming on your windshield. You're going to wiggle your steering wheel, just make sure it moves freely. And when you're driving down the road, make sure it doesn't drift on you as well. You're going to check your wiper blades, make sure that it cleans off the driver's position. Make sure no missing blade on the wiper. Make sure that your sprayers work, that it cleans off an adequate part for the driver's view. You're also going to check your seat belts. You're going to check, make sure it's intact. Make sure the buckle is intact as well. Make sure that you can clip it in and unclip it. You're going to make sure that all of your gauges work. RPM gauge, your speed gauge, your fuel and your depth fluid. Trucks may vary on depth fluid. Make sure that your seat locks into position and can move freely either way, and then relocks into position as you're driving. Refer to the Schedule 1 if it's a major or a minor defect if it does not lock into place. You're also going to check your windshield, make sure that there's no crack or pockets that eventually can lead to a crack. Make sure that you can roll up your window and down your window freely. Make sure that there's no cracks in them as well as taking another second look now that your hood is latched at your mirrors. Make sure everything is in place and there's no cracks on them. For your brake check, you're going to put it in drive, press the brake, put it in drive with your parking brake engaged. You're going to put your foot on the gas and see if it holds. So before you start driving your vehicle, you need to make sure, this is an example area, you just need to make sure that there's nothing on your dash. If there is an accident of any kind, those items then become a projectile onto the driver or potentially causing damage to your windshield. So when you're ever towing a trailer, you need to make sure that there's no debris that can become a projectile onto the roadway. So there can be no pop cans or anything underneath your chains, no gloves in your seat, no shoes on the rollers, no water bottles, pop cans, snack wrappers, anything on any part of your load, as it can become flying debris. Nothing behind the roller as well, as it can get loose and it can come off, and you've just created a hazard on the road for all of the other vehicle drivers that are around you. Every truck that we have that is a commercial vehicle comes with emergency warning triangle road flare kits. These are either located underneath your seat or somewhere in your cab. You pull them out, you then twist them sideways, and they come up and they lock into place and create a triangle. If you have any emergency on the roadway, these need to be used behind your truck and trailer so that vehicles will give you room to move away from you or move a lane over. You have to set them far enough behind your truck and your trailer to make it noticeable for the oncoming drivers, so that when they approach, they are able to see that there are triangles out, and they can then move over from your truck and give you safe distance for any mechanics, you having to get out of the cab to assess any problems with the truck or the trailer. Just creates a safe zone for the worker or the driver as well. So for other emergency equipment that is located in your truck, you also have a fire extinguisher in your cab that is mounted to the flare. The arrow should be in the green. Inspection tag should be marked and dated as well as it was inspected. The ones that sit on the floor, just gently tip it. That way it gets mixed up, because after it sits for a while, it starts to solidify and everything settles to the bottom of it. Once you've done that, you reconnect the locking clip to make sure it's mounted back to the floor and secure. In all of the trailers, you have a cap that is located somewhere on the truck that is a twist cap that looks a little like this. The information you pull out, make sure you have updated insurance, your permit is attached and valid, and that you have, if I can hold this, your commercial vehicle operation registration certification, and that is up to date as well. So that is for trailers. Make sure you put it back in the little latch so that it's held securely. Fold it down and reattach the cap, twist and lock into place so you don't lose any of that information as you drive. You will have in your Schedule 1 a list of major and minor defects, or minor and major defects, whichever you decide to choose. And it lists on which part over on your left-hand side, column 1, on what you're checking, and what in column 2 and 3 is minor or a major defect. All minor or major defects need to be listed on your inspection daily log for your minor and your majors. When this gets put in at the either start of your shift or end of your shift, Dawn and Wendy, the mechanics, the supervisor, will see this, and then from there they will make corrections for it and make sure that it gets updated or fixed so that there's no further issues. On the front of your Schedule 1 logbook, you have all the paperwork that is required of your vehicle So you have the CVOR certification, the registration, and is up to date. With vehicles that are CVOR, newer stickers have a QR code on the outside that you check the date for, the yellow sticker in the corner of the windshield. That will be, your date has a QR code, so that paper might not be necessary. Your ownership, you have to have proof of ownership. Make sure when you're looking at it, you're looking and checking your gross weight as well of your truck and how much you can haul. If you're not sure about the load that you are carrying or how heavy your vehicle along with your trailer is, make sure you go over to the scales and you get an accurate weight on it so you know what your truck is hauling and to make sure that you are under your registered gross weight. This has been a Schedule 1 pre-trip on our tool truck.